After leaving hyperspace, we find ourselves in the Kijimi orbit and welcomed by heralding brass playing a major chord, followed by a trumpet solo with a new motif that I believe is attributed to Kijimi.
So, this is Kijimi, huh?
It's not enough to call a theme, just a short musical idea, and this one actually seems to be set in what's called Locrian mode. The interval from the tonic, which we land on, and the fifth, which is the high point that we leap to, is a tritone, which discerns a lowered fifth scale degree.
So, this is Kijimi, huh?
With the other notes included from the theme, this leads us to most of a Locrian scale. This is not unsimilar to the Phrygian and Aeolian dominant scales that we heard previously, since all of these have a lowered second scale degree. But Locrian is one of those modes that is rarely used because of how unstable it is. So it was really exciting to hear this moment as we come out of hyperspace and are introduced to Kijimi.
So, this is Kijimi, huh? Looks cold.
As we enter Kijimi's orbit, the music sounds like what we hear when we land on Toshara at first, with a chord that leads to flutters in the high voices. Kei's heroic theme plays then, but as Kijimi City comes into view, the music shifts to the same motif that we heard in orbit, which I feel safe now to refer to as the Kijimi motif, as it connects to the visual. It returns again, but in the lows as an ominous warning, as Jalen tells us about our target, Ankh, the Safecracker. It's responded to this time by a couple of swells in the bassoon and other low voices as well, before one more clear rendition in the low strings, clearly foreshadowing a looming presence out to do us harm.
She's also drowning in debt to the Ishiga.
Maybe she should think about cracking some safes.
We've got a welcoming committee.
Welcoming committee.
This gives way to the general music for the planet. At first, it's just synth drones with a light underlying pulsing. As Kei approaches the guards at the gate, low drones and eerie sounds enter. Ghostly swells enter and disappear, adding fear and tension to the scene. The diminished triad that is outlined by the Kijimi theme appears near the end as well, tying us back to this cold, desolate planet.
A smuggling vessel in our records.
Oh, you've heard of it. Well, I'm just looking for someone. Her name's Ankh.
What is your business with Ankh?
Well, she owes me money. Like, a lot. I'm here to collect.
You are a liar. You are working with Crimson Dawn.
What? No, I mean, if I was with the Dawn, you think I'd just show up on your landing pad?
Ship scan complete. Nothing of interest.
Guess that means I'm free to go, right? I mean, sounds like you've got Crimson Dawn spies to find.
You are clear to go. But do not lie to us again.
Oh, yeah, I won't. Honest.
And then we're off to explore the city. The track begins with something that sounded like the pulsing of a sonar system at first, and it always grabbed my attention when I heard this, as if I needed to be paying special attention to something around me.
Hey, Indy 5, we're clear for now.
But then it leads directly into the rest of the music. The Kijimi theme returns in an alto flute, giving the music a very tribal feel but calming sound as well. Next, the theme moves to the bassoon and then gets passed around to all of the other woodwind instruments. Personally, woodwinds were an interesting choice here because this is one planet where woodwind instruments would definitely not be native or work very well. Not without, wood or trees or any kind of foliage. The instruments would also likely dry out and crack in the extreme cold, and the warmth of the music actually took away from harsh coldness because of it. Personally, I would have gone with more vocal or metallic percussive music here to encapsulate the instruments more likely found in extremely cold climates. Nonetheless, It's a great sound that Roget creates, and maybe in Star Wars, there's a type of bamboo that grows on ice planets. Notably, the music does eventually move to the brass and strings as well, adding more depth and expanse to the music and its city. But I was off to the cantina to learn more about Ankh, and with a new cantina on a new planet, we finally got more new cantina tracks as well. I'm still disappointed that there's no intermingling of tracks from different planets. I would imagine that music from one planet would find its way to other planets, but maybe that's not as common as we would suspect, given that even on our own planet, music from somewhere like China struggles to gain similar success in other countries like Spain, for example. Speaking to the bartender, we learned that Ankh was captured by the Ashiga, and so it looks like we'll need to infiltrate the local Ashiga clan. We end up finding that there is a relic that we can steal for the Ashiga that will gain favor with their queen. So, now it's time to infiltrate Crimson Dawn as well. As we move through the Crimson Dawn base, we hear another track of low drum beats that keep the energy and tension moving, while string swells hold another type of tension in the air around us. But to be honest, by this point in the game, I didn't want to keep having to sneak through everything, and so I just started killing everyone in blaster fights. And sure enough, as the fight gets underway, the music picked up just like earlier occasions. String flurries gave way to attacks into brass. A new theme was present as well, which I was happy to hear, and I'm curious if this could possibly be a theme for Crimson Dawn as the game continues.
They won't quit.
But listen to how the violin has become distorted to reflect the tension of the fight while still playing this theme. The same theme and flurries can be heard as the music dies back down as well, and we continue to sneak through the base.
Oh, good job. We lost them.
And it's neat to see how the tracks intertwine as we transition from battle music back to ordinary sneaking music each time, while keeping all of the same elements present. But it's at this point that I also experienced one of the reported glitches of this game. I walked up to the relic but couldn't interact with it. I couldn't do anything. I had to walk away for a bit and shoot some things, and then come back before I could finally continue. There have been several other places in the game where things like this have happened as well, and I definitely get what people are complaining about with this. You pay so much for a game to have it bug on you and take you out of the experience. Once I finally got the relic, I was off to escape the compound, and immediately we're under fire from Crimson Dawn soldiers, and during the battle, the same music that played during the battle inside returns, but as it ends, the music dies down again. We continue to hear that potential Crimson Dawn theme as we move through the rest of the base towards the exit, and again, I'm curious to hear if this music returns later for Crimson Dawn as well.
Got something, bud?
As we leave the base, the music transitions again from the Crimson Dawn bass music back to low, ominous music with glissandi and the harp. A low and still ominous pulsing occurs next in the low strings that grounds us while continuing a feeling of danger around us.
Don't get your hopes up.
By the time we make it to the Ashiga base, the music has left, but as we approach the Queen, music returns in the form of a solo flute at first. This music reflected, to me, an East Asian sound with the glissandoing flute. But as Kay gives the Ashiga the band Pudira, the theme for Kijimi and apparently also the Ashiga plays in a variation.
Who are you?
Kay Vess, Your Majesty.
She was asking about the bomb maker.
But I also got this relic back for you from Crimson Dawn.
As the Queen silences her daughter, the lows enter to proclaim a strong and weighted presence. The music builds throughout the rest of the conversation then, as there is clearly dissent in the ranks from there.
We have decided.
Okay, so relic's back. You gonna let Ant go now?
The bomb maker? She is essential to our expansion. But the Hive also has great use for a thief like you. Work with us. And we will let Ankh go free.
Mother.
We got a deal then. Great. I'll just leave you to talk this out.
I'm really curious to see how this all plays out for the Ashiga. There seems to be a lot of drama and family tension happening right now, but it was great to get another theme for one of the clans and possibly one for Crimson Dawn as well, although I'm still not sure about this one. And that glitch was one of several that I've been experiencing that has been frustrating. But I also would love to know what all of you think. I'm breaking the game down as I play it, similar to how I would watch a weekly TV show, so there are elements that may make more sense to me as I release later videos for further missions. What do you think of the music for Kijimi and the use of the Locrian scale and mode? And have you been experiencing these glitches as well? Tell me in the comments below what you think, and consider checking out my Patreon page using the link in the description, where you can help support this channel for as little as $1 a month, or download PDFs and MP3s of projects as I complete them, along with other perks at higher tiers. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to learn more about the music of a galaxy far, far away, and as always, may the be with you.